Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. I've got a few updates for you. First, we'll start with Prince Harry and his bid for another look at an aspect of his case with the Home Office. Now, this was denied by the High Court. Now, you will see on YouTube some people are saying that Harry's lost his case. Well, this isn't true. This was just one aspect that he wanted to have another look at. Ravek's decision. Now, Ravek is the governing body for the Met Police and the Home Office that came to the decision that Harry cannot be allowed to have paid for security from Met policemen because this would start a precedent and open things up for that. Any rich person could just come in and say, well, I want to pay the police and have this kind of protection. This decision had been made prior. Harry had presented a challenge to it, and it was shot down. Now, this was his second bid to the court to bring a new challenge against this decision by Ravek, and the court said no, we're done with that. However, the rest of the court case against the Home Office will continue, and I think they're reconvening in court either in June or July. I'm not 100% sure. Now, consequences for Harry because of this decision ruling against him. For this piece, he will have to pay the court costs, and that comes to about £500,000, half a million. So that's a lot of money that he's on the hoof for this part. But no, the case is not completely finished. He will have to. It continues. It continues into the summer. So that's just one aspect of that. The other update I have for you is rather a sad one. A couple of weeks ago, Sophie, what is she now? Duchess of Edinburgh, yeah. Her car driving around West London, this was right around the coronation. She was traveling and she had two police outriders on motorcycles ahead of her. One of the motorcycle outriders hit an 81-year-old pensioner, and she was very, very badly injured. I'm not sure what speed her little motorcade was traveling at, but the paper said that she was thrown about 30 to 40 feet. So it was a high impact collision for this poor woman. Sadly, she died this morning. Now, so the Duchess of Edinburgh has put out a statement. The palace has put out a statement on her behalf saying how, sorry she was and for the family for this tragedy to happen. Now, is there going to be any consequences here? That's hard to say. I don't know if there's going to be an investigation. What we do know is that there was some obstructions on the streets at that time because it was right just before the coronation. So there were some barriers put up along the streets and things like that. And so perhaps the victim could not see around the corner. Obviously, she did not see the motorcycles. She did not see the car. She did not see the little motorcade approaching her. and presumably they didn't see her. She was at a crosswalk. She was crossing legally, obeying all the rules. But of course, we know that when a royal family travels and they have their outriders and stuff, they don't stop for red lights. They don't need to obey the rules of the road. Basically, when a royal is traveling, they have the right of way above everybody else. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any repercussions for the motorcycle driver, if anything such happens, like perhaps they pay the family a settlement. I really don't know what's going to happen there. We're going to have to wait and watch and see uh, anything that happens with that. Now with Harry and Meghan, life just keeps unraveling. This whole debacle in New York, what a mess. I mean, I think the reason that they did it was twofold. I think the reason that they mocked up this whole car chase thing, first of all, was an on the heel sort of decision in the wake of this court decision that refused Harry another look at this review. And I think he was angry about that. And it's, hey, if we had a big, high speed, scary, frightening, near catastrophic chase, that might prove that we really need this kind of protection. So there's that. Also, it was partly just, I'm pretty sure Meghan cooked this all up. I mean, when they went to the award ceremony to win that one, she won that woman's award, another bought and paid for award by Gloria Steinem and the like, the lefty loonies. Well, she demanded that only one photographer be inside the event, and so that's what they did. Now, there were photographers outside, and we know that the group of photographers, Backgrid, that were out there, Meghan has used over and over again to take her photos, the supposed, oh, I've been papped photos here and there and everything. She calls them. This is what happens with Backgrid. You call them to an event. So they were there upon her request to begin with. They didn't sneak out the back way. They went right out front, right in front of the paps, and you can see Meghan smiling. You can see her smiling. Well, and then this whole debacle developed, and as we know, the whole story has unraveled. Nobody believes them. The police don't believe them. The people don't believe them. The cab drivers don't believe them. Their credibility is shot. In the timeline of all of this, they wanted to stay at the Carlisle Hotel, but they had told the representatives at the Carlisle, that they expected a discount on the room, which would have cost $8,000 a night. Now, of course, this is the hotel that was favored by Princess Diana when she was in New York. The room, the fancy suite that she stayed in, that's what it costs now. It's like $8,000 a night. And they, of course, Harry and Meghan, they want, from private jets to hotel rooms, they want somebody else to foot the bill. They don't like spending their own money. And the Carlisle said, no, we don't offer discounts to anyone. And so because of that, they couldn't stay at the hotel. And this is presumably why they drove around aimlessly for a couple of hours while they were going to be staying at a friend's residence. They didn't want the paps to know where they were staying. So they got in the taxi. Well, first of all, bad security. And the taxi didn't take them anywhere. They sat in the taxi for like 10 minutes. Had more photographs taken, of course, and then they got out and got back into their SUV. I mean, the whole thing was stitched up, cooked up by Meghan and Harry, and an absolute shambles, an absolute shame. not only is the mayor, the police commissioner, and the people of New York are angry with Meghan and Harry for pulling such a stunt. I don't think they're going to be much welcome in New York anytime soon, but it remains to be seen if there's any real consequences of their behavior, such as perhaps a charge for public mischief or blocking traffic, or who knows what they could, come up with. But also, this recent stunt isn't going to look too good for his home office cases. They're creating these stunts. It's obvious. So, that just rolls on. We'll see where it takes from here on out. But that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know next time I upload a video. And certainly leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we will see you in the next one.